With the idea that more is caught than taught, the best way that you can teach your children to break bad habits is by breaking your own. And sometimes the only way you realize you have bad habits is when somebody points it out. So if your kids point out your bad habit, be humble and say, yeah, you know what? That is a bad habit. I should address that. And then address it. Because the transparency and the humility of being not perfect is a wonderful thing to model for your kids. Because then the person that they look up to, they can then go, wait, they're not perfect. They don't know everything and they're still growing. Well, if they're still growing and they're that many years older than me, I guess I'm just going to be growing for a really long time. No one is ever so far gone that they're not fixable. No one is ever so broken that they can't get themselves back on a path. And sometimes when you overcome bad habits, that becomes the pathway that somebody else can find in order to overcome theirs. So be humble with your kids as you're dealing with your own bad habits, and that's going to teach them how to do it on their own. Or when to ask for help when breaking bad habits. Building a support system around breaking bad habits. Another thing to do is teaching them that failure is not fatal. Failure is a great teacher. Failure is something that you can then find a place to springboard off of into your next adventure in life, having learned a whole bunch of great lessons. And it's humbling, and it's annoying, and it sucks. And sometimes it may cut you emotionally. But again, failure is a great springboard for something new. And that new thing that you're going to be doing, you're going to have a whole bunch more lessons in when you're walking through it. I've seen people who have failed and gone, well, it's over for me. That's it. I failed. We're a failure. We're done. And I just feel so sad for people who get stuck in that world that failure is just, that's it. Or when they stay in that consistent pattern of failure, failing the exact same way over and over again, not learning the lesson. And the lesson's so clear to you, but you can't be the one to point it out. So instead, when you fail, learn from that failure and learn how great that failure is for you, how far you can grow with it. And the last thing would be teach them to fall down. And falling down is different than failure. Failure is like when you've already fallen down a whole bunch of times and then you got really good at something and then you suddenly failed at it. But learning to fall down, like the first thing you learn when you go skiing or ice skating or anything else, anything that involves some kind of balance, is you learn how to fall safely. Because if you fall the wrong way, you can get really hurt. So teaching your kids out the gate that they are going to fall down the first time they try to do something, and how to get themselves back up, and how to make sure that they keep falling safely until they really get their balance, that's an awesome tool for them to have. And we fall down in a multitude of ways. Oh, you failed that test? All right, well, go redo it. See if you can learn those questions. Which is one of the reasons that I hate tests and not mastery. Because you're not defined by that grade. You're defined by what you retained after you received that grade, and then studied and improved upon. Which is why grades are stupid. That's another tangent. The best way to do this is to model falling yourself. Try new things. Continuously try new things. Struggle with it at the beginning. Show yourself falling down, and then show yourself falling down less. Again, it all boils down to modeling. They're going to use parts of your life as the map they navigate life with.